We're here with our good friend Matt Asner, and he's talking with us about the Ed Asner poker tournament that's happening on September 9th. And we just were talking during the break, and your lovely wife is here, although she refuses to be on camera, and I don't know why, because she's so amazing.
She doesn't want to make me look bad.
Oh, please.
No, it's true. It's true. She doesn't want to make me look bad.
We were just talking about what a great deal, if you're not a poker player, to come for $100, and there's an open bar, and you get to meet celebrities, and you get to sit for a portrait setting that is like
it would normally cost you about $3,000. Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. People need to line up. And I would imagine at a certain point you can only take a certain number of people for that $100 ticket.
We're getting
close.
So
if you want to do it, you got to sign up right now. And we said that the place to sign up for it was
pokerwithed.com.
Okay.
And just go to the website. It's all there.
Okay. But we want to talk. People should want to know where their dollars are going, and this event is going to benefit the Autism Society of America. And part of what you have done in the last year, and I really have to say publicly, I've said this to you privately, but you have escalated the face of Autism Society of America in the last year and put them on the map, because I think before that, if you didn't know about the Autism Society of America, you just didn't know about the Autism Society of America. But people, you have rejuvenated this, and it's a great organization. So I'm thrilled that we've always been supportive of Autism Society and their mission, but you really have put them on the map this last year, Matt.
Well, I appreciate your words, but I got to tell you, there's some incredible people working there. Scott Badish, who's the president, is a visionary, and he's one of these people that I'm just really fortunate to work with.
He's great.
He's a man that really walks the walk, and he believes in what he does, and I can say that about everyone who works at Autism Society, whether they're at the affiliate level or they're at the national level. All of these people are 100% involved and engaged and want to change the lives of everyone living with autism and their families.
And if people don't know, this is the oldest organization having to do with autism here in the United States.
50 years
more
old.
than 50 years.
Yeah, more than 50 years.
And that it was formed by parents.
Yep.
And that everybody who is involved because it's personal. That this is really the genesis of how this organization started, was that it was personal, and it remains that way. So you'll get no argument from me that it's a great organization run by great people.
Well, and I think one of the important things to stress here is that we're really the boots on the ground. We're really the boots on the ground in the community. The amazing thing about Autism Society is that we have 90 plus affiliates across the country. And they're all autonomous. They're all kind of moving, to their own beat. Nationally, we have a national presence, but they're able to kind of focus at the community level the way I think other organizations aren't.
Yes.
And that's in that way we have a very local feel.
Yeah.
And so it's really important. Actually, I'm going to tell you something. It's really important in times like we're living in right now. Where we have a horrible, awful situation right now in Texas, where people need a lot of help, and the Autism Society of Texas right now is really stepping up and doing whatever they can to help people at the community level. So, and I want to say, just if you can, make a donation to Autism Society of Texas.
There you go.
They really need the help right now.
Absolutely.
Because we're really trying to help as many people on the ground as possible in Texas, people that are affected by autism in some way, and their families, and there are a lot of them, and so it's important that we support that as much as possible.
Absolutely. For people who aren't familiar with the term affiliates, so these are individual offices all around the country that you have. So where might we find the Autism Society of Texas? Would they have their own Facebook page?
Yes, they have their own Facebook page, and you can you go to the Autism Society of Texas and make a donation straight there.
Okay, great.
And it's, I think, a really great way of contributing
Absolutely.
to these very difficult times we live in.
Absolutely. And then, I think so many of us, I was saying this yesterday, that when a tragedy like this happens, we watch and we're stunned and we feel powerless, and it's important to do something. And that often those of us in the autism community, you absolutely can give money to the Red Cross, but I always want to make sure that it's going, because I think about what is it like for the autism families. I want to make sure that it's going to help autism families because they need even more.
Yeah.
So what a great way to do that. Autism
Yes.
Society of Texas. Fabulous. So, but for this tournament, all of the money from the tournament, the proceeds from it are going to Autism Society of America. And we said, let's talk a little bit about how that money gets used and why you should be supporting Autism Society right now.
Well, like I said, we're the boots on the ground in
Yes.
each community. And that takes money to kind of orchestrate.
Yeah, you don't have to right now put people on planes to get to Texas so that you can assess the situation. You've already got people that
That's
are
right.
there, that are part of the community, that are in neighboring towns, that
That's
are
right.
already there.
And I want to say, nationally, we have a situation, we're just coming out of a situation, and it's an ongoing situation, a healthcare situation.
Yes.
That, I think I think we led the way in that regard, in making sure that people, contacted their leaders and said,
Yes.
we're not gonna sit down and take this.
Yeah.
I think we have an incredible advocacy team, in Washington, that really was working overtime during this whole period of time.
Yeah.
So we I think really led the way in that regard, and I really want to thank everyone nationally that was a part of that effort, because I think we did a great job in getting the word out.
Yeah. I think sometimes, if I could say this, that people get confused because there's a lot of different organizations that are out there and they're doing different things, and people get judgy sometimes about, well, why aren't you doing this and why aren't you doing that? And I always say you need to look at what the mission is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a very exciting mission that's Autism Society of America that, and I can tell you from going to, I wasn't able to go to this year's conference, but I have been to Autism Society of America conferences, and until you're there, I think you don't really get it. To see the number of adults that are on the autism spectrum that participate with Autism Society, and because of Autism Society's mission, I don't want to speak to the whole thing, but I know that a great part of it is to make the lives meaningful of all individuals on the spectrum.
Absolutely, and that's look, autism is a spectrum disorder. It's also it's a life spectrum.
Yes.
So we're talking about people who are infants, and we're talking about people who are elderly.
Yes.
So we're seeing actually more and more people get older. And,
yes.
And
And good. I mean,
And
that's
good.
exactly what we
Exactly.
want, is for our individuals who are on the autism spectrum to grow up, to be healthy enough to grow up.
Exactly.
But then there is a responsibility to make sure that we are all keeping in alignment with having their lives be meaningful and purposeful.
And this means employment.
Yes.
This means housing.
Yes.
And this means finding ways to make sure that gets done.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing.
Absolutely.